This video is brought to you by AztecaSoccer.com, your one-stop shop for all the latest and greatest soccer gear. Be sure to use coupon code SR4U at checkout to receive 10% off any order of $75 or more. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Hypervenom Phantom in the latest Hyper Crimson and Atomic Orange colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag because this is a top-end model, of course. The string bag is black in color with your Hyper Crimson bright orange Hypervenom Skull and Crossbones logo on the front, Hyper Crimson strings, and then on the back of the bag you can see it's all orange in color with a black Nike swoosh. So we'll get that out of the way. And other than that, all you're going to find inside the box are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly. And in today's video, we're going to take a closer look at the latest colorway of the Hypervenom Phantom, which is extremely vibrant, by the way. Talk a little bit about the overall performance. And if any of that interests you, please stick around for the rest of this video. So with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's talk about the new Hyper Crimson and Atomic Orange colorway. So you have two shades of orange, which automatically makes this a very, very vibrant shoe. But again, it looks a little bit different in person than what I was anticipating, just based on what my first impressions were from watching the professional players wearing them on TV. In person, I will say that they're a lot brighter than I was expecting. In the middle portion of the upper, you have that Hyper Crimson orange, which is a little bit darker and a little bit more intense in terms of its vibrancy, whereas along the outside, kind of bordering the entire shoe as well as in the laces and tongue, you can see you have that atomic orange color, which is still bright. It's orange at the end of the day, but it's a little bit less intense. It's not quite as shiny. It has a nice matte finish to it. And overall, the two shades of orange actually work quite well with each other. You do have your Nike swoosh in white with the black outline on both the front as well as the rear portion of the shoe, which I, again, really like the look of. You're going to find your Hypervenom branding as well as your Nike Skin branding and Skull and Crossbones logo all in black. The heel liner is black, as you guys can see, along with the insole. Your ACC branding on the tongue is a nice metallic chrome, and then the sole plate is all black with one more white Nike swoosh. So overall, nice and bright color. It's kind of the closest thing we've gotten to the original launch color of the Hypervenom Phantom since it originally came out. So overall, if you're looking for something that is bright orange, you're really going to like this colorway. Leave your opinions on it down below in the comments. Do you like it? Is it too bright? Is it not bright enough? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to how these shoes perform. When it comes to performance, the Hypervenom Phantom really does have a lot to offer, and along with the Magista and Superfly models from Nike that are made from Flyknit, the Hypervenom also offers a very unique synthetic upper that offers a feel that you really can't get from any other shoe. Now, if you guys want more details on the overall performance, I'll leave an annotation on screen to my playtest video as well as other performance-oriented videos I have on the Hypervenom Phantom, so you can go ahead and check those out. And I'll also leave a link down below in the description to the detailed full written review on my website. So again, be sure to use all of those resources if you want as much information as possible on the performance of the Hypervenom Phantom. With that being said, we're going to get into some of the brief tech specs that you should know regarding the overall performance of this shoe. As far as the upper is concerned, it's made from one single synthetic material that Nike calls Nike Skin. So Nike Skin is basically a combination of thin layers of polyurethane, which is what you're going to find on the surface of the upper, and a base layer of honeycomb shaped mesh. That's what gives the upper its very unique texturing. You can see it exposed on the inside. And essentially what this honeycomb mesh layer does is it creates a sock-like effect. So it's very soft, it's very flexible, and at the same time it's also very thin, but still manages a slight amount of padding because it does have some thickness to it. Over top of that mesh base layer, you have thin layers of polyurethane. Some places have more layers, some places have less layers, just for reinforcement purposes. And in terms of structure on the inside of the shoe, there is actually a little bit of a lining material just as kind of a fused on reinforcement layer, just to prevent the upper from being too stretchy or to prevent any kind of rollover and maintain a good responsive feel, which you do get from the Hypervenom Phantom. On the surface of the upper, it does feature what Nike calls an X-ray texturing, so it has kind of a soft wax-like finish to it, so it's not completely smooth. You get that texturing as well as that little bit of extra grip, which again just provides a nice unique sensation, nothing to complain about whatsoever. And then of course the shoe is also finished off with ACC, all conditions control, acting as your wet control element, allowing the shoe to provide a little bit of additional grip on the ball in wet weather playing conditions. And I definitely would say this is one of my personal favorite thin synthetic wet weather shoes to use, just because it actually does provide some really good grip on the ball when playing conditions are a little bit wet. You do have a very unusual lacing system where they're pushed to the outside of the shoe, so you have a very clean surface to strike the ball, pass the ball, control the ball on the top as well as the medial side of the foot. The tongue itself is also made from that same Nike Skin Synthetic, so you get a nice uniform touch across the entire foot. It does have a very low cut in the heel area, an ankle kind of similar to a Mercurial, the internal plastic heel counter, a synthetic leather liner with a decent amount of padding considering the lightweight construction of the shoe. The insole is fully removable, mesh liner on top, perforations throughout, and it's made from a single layer of this foam material that is nice and lightweight and provides some pretty decent step-in comfort. Moving on to the sole plate. The sole plate is made from a glass nylon material, which is actually quite stiff despite how thin it actually is. So you're nice and low to the ground, and it provides a very responsive feel. It's something that will take a little bit of getting used to depending on what shoe you're coming from prior to wearing the Hypervenom Phantom, but it breaks in nicely, and once you get used to it, it's nothing to complain about whatsoever. And then the stud pattern itself is kind of the conical stud version of what you get from the Mercurial line. So you have 4 conical studs in the heel, 6 conical studs in the forefoot, 1 support bladed stud in the middle, and 1 Mercurial-esque bladed stud right at the tip of the toe. So a minimal stud pattern as far as firm ground studs go. And the studs themselves, while they're conical in shape, have a very narrow profile. So they penetrate the ground quite nicely, providing really good grip at push-off. But because they are rounded, they actually provide plenty of maneuverability when your foot is planted as well. So you kind of get the best of both worlds of really good traction and really good maneuverability when on a firm natural grass playing surface. So that's pretty much it as far as all the tech specs and performance aspects of the Hypervenom you should know. Again, if you want more info, link down below in the description, and I did leave that annotation on screen. So check out those resources, and with that being said, let's move on to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are. In terms of weight, the Hypervenom Phantom is nice and light. Not quite as lightweight as what you're going to find from Nike's Mercurial Vapor 10, but pretty much right on par with what you're going to get from the Magista Obra as well as the Superfly 4. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. I'm going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.1 ounces, which, like I mentioned, is very lightweight, both in hand as well as on feet. So if you were looking for something light and the Hypervenom Phantom was on your radar, the weight of the shoe is certainly something that you should not concern yourself with. They're light and still maintain a nice solid feel on feet, and that's really all you can ask for. Alright, here's a look at the Hypervenom Phantoms on feet, and from out of the box, this is actually a very comfortable shoe. The Nike Skin material is soft, flexible, and moves quite naturally with your feet, and also has the unique ability to stretch, which you don't see all that often from thin synthetic uppers. The only thing that you will notice at first, if you haven't worn the Hypervenom Phantom before, is that the sole plate, especially in the forefoot area, is a little bit stiffer than average, so that will take some getting used to. You may have some slight discomfort when wearing them in because of that, but once they're well broken in, after a couple hours of wear time, I would say, it does soften up, it does become more flexible, and they just become very comfortable afterwards. As far as the width of the shoe is concerned, it does have a tighter fit, but like I mentioned, the Nike Skin upper does have that ability to stretch quite a bit for a synthetic shoe. So if you can fit your foot in from right out of the box when they're brand new, even if they're a little bit tight, they will, like I said, stretch after some break-in time. And as long as you don't have excessively wide feet, these should actually fit you quite comfortable once they've been broken in. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length and width is pretty much perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size for the best possible fit. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Nike Hypervenom Phantom in the latest Hyper Crimson colorway. It's a great looking shoe, very, very vibrant in this orange color. And if you're looking for something that is going to offer a similar type of feel to that of the Nike Mercurial line, but with some slight modifications in that it's very soft, it's very thin, but at the same time has that slight amount of padding and a little bit of extra grip that you won't necessarily get from the Nike Mercurial line. And then of course the conical stud pattern. This is just a great shoe overall, and one that I can strongly recommend. If you guys again are looking for more details on the overall performance, go check out the full written review on my website, linked down below in the description. On that review page, not only will you find the detailed reviews, not only will you find the high quality images of this shoe that I took myself, but you'll also find buy it now links with the best prices online, including exclusive SR4U coupon codes, allowing you to pick these up below their retail price. So be sure to go ahead and check that out if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself. If you have any questions regarding this shoe or any suggestions as far as content is concerned, be sure to leave those suggestions and questions down below in the comment section, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.